Hello, and this is my first commentary, first recording, video ever. And this is not really rehearsed, not really scripted. You're not gonna see any like crazy gimmicks or like wacky humor. I guess this is just me testing out the hardware that I have and just wanting to try this out. So I guess a little bit about myself. I was born in the States, but I currently live and work in South Korea. And I've been here for 3 years. I really like living here. I really like working here. And despite, being here for 3 years and traveling and having fun and all that stuff, my love for games and playing games has really not diminished, like, at all. When I was a teenager, I thought maybe one day it would be something that I kind of grew out of, but I really haven't. And I'm still just working, living in Korea, and trying to still play games and have as much fun with them as possible. But the point of this video, besides just kind of testing it out and testing the waters, is recently the 2014 E3 conference took place in Los Angeles, and I was able to watch all the major conferences. So that's Microsoft, EA, Ubisoft, and then Nintendo's Direct, and then of course Sony's big conference. And so I just kind of want to give my thoughts about what I thought about the conferences, and I guess, everybody always wants to know who won E3. And there's a million other websites, a million other videos, a million other different opinions on who won E3 and who was the best and who was the worst. So, I'm just another little guy who's just thrown his opinion out there, but might as well since I'm here. So I guess the best way to do it is to just kind of start and go through each conference. The first conference, Microsoft's conference. I really thought they improved since last year. And I know last year too, they said they were going to put, a really big focus on the games instead of just the features and the extra things that the Xbox One is capable of. And they did it this year, and I felt they did a better job. The titles that they showed were extremely strong. They had some good third-party titles like Assassin's Creed Unity, and they had some interesting exclusives coming back from, some as far back as the original Xbox One did. I was really excited to see titles like Crackdown coming back. I was really excited to see Phantom Dust coming back, a title that I absolutely loved on the original Xbox, and I was convinced would never come back. So I was really happy to see that. However, I still felt that there were very few surprises among that lineup, and I guess that's a valid criticism towards everybody this year, but Microsoft especially in particular. Maybe I'm old-fashioned and maybe I'm just, kind of a dummy for still believing in this, but I still primarily pick consoles for the exclusives that they have. I pick consoles for the games they're going to have overall, but, in this day and age, when you have third-party publishers putting their games on pretty much every console under the sun, like now, even big titles coming out like Destiny are on current gen and next gen. The commentary that you're watching now, Battlefield Hardline, is going to be on, as far as I know, current gen and next gen. It's really the exclusives that, to me, stand out, that justify purchasing the console or not. And while I feel that there are some exclusives that interest me on Xbox, of course, the new Platinum Games game coming out, Scaleborn, I think it was called, looks great. I'm a big Platinum Games fanboy, so I will definitely want to play that eventually. But overall, the rest is very heavy third-party support that, honestly, I can play right now. I own a PS4, and I could play Assassin's Creed Unity. I can play Metal Gear 5 Phantom Pain, Yeah, I'm going to be missing out on games like Master Chief Collection, Killer Instinct, but I really don't mind, because to miss 2 games, but to still have a console that plays exclusives and the third-party titles, as of right now, it's a solid console, and ditching the Kinect I thought has been a great idea, but just overall, I don't think it's smart for me to own one, and especially when I own a PS4. And I guess that's a good segue into the Sony conference, and I thought they had some great exclusives on display. No Man's Sky looks fantastic. The continued onslaught of indie games, and while some people say, well, that's not what I bought the console for, or, you know, some people say, I could play this on PC. A majority of the people who buy PS4 can't play it on PC because they don't have a PC to play it on. So the fact that I could play, you know, these indie titles like Towerfall and Transistor on my console, you know, so everybody, my friends and family, can enjoy is really appealing to me. And, you know, with titles like The Order, which granted looks like another third-person shooter, but a really good-looking third-person shooter, and Bloodborne, and of course Uncharted 4, really appeal to me. Like, those are exclusives you cannot play anywhere else, and those are exclusives that I like. You know, and at the same time, the other big titles like The Division and The Witcher 3 are going to be on PS4. And sometimes, most likely in the case of Assassin's Creed and Ubisoft, with exclusive content. You know, so it's pretty much a majority of the third-party titles that Xbox One displayed, plus the exclusives that are like, plus indie games coming out. And that really appeals to me. Like, and as far as games go, like major AAA titles, I feel like PS4 has me covered with everything I want and everything I would need. So that finally leads me to Nintendo, and you know, as we all know, Nintendo doesn't give a conference anymore. They don't have a conference. They do their live stream. They do the Nintendo Directs. And honestly, as silly as it sounds, this year, I kind of wish they had a conference, because honestly, I felt that they had an absolutely fantastic selection of games. It's like they really listened to the fans and what they wanted. It's like they said, okay, we know the Wii U's tanking right now. We know we're having trouble with the Wii U. So we're gonna kick it into high gear. You want Star Fox? We're gonna give you Star Fox. You want an open world, beautiful looking Zelda? We're gonna give you that. You want a fun, competitive multiplayer shooter? We're gonna give you Splatoon. You know, even the concepts that Miyamoto had at E3, the giant robot, the guard, even though they're like very early in concept, they look really fun. And you know, for the first time, people are interested in the Wii U. They're talking about the Wii U in a positive light, and I think that's something that's really cool. I've always liked Nintendo. I've always liked the consoles. Even with GameCube and the Wii, I've enjoyed what they offered, and I really hope to see them step it up with the Wii U. And, well, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Like I said, this is just a test run. This is just me rambling, and I really hope you enjoyed it. And I enjoyed doing this, so maybe I'll do some more. But, you know, what do I know? I'm just a normal guy throwing his opinion out there. So, thanks.